Imagine a time long before the pyramids, before Stonehenge. A time when humanity consisted of small nomadic bands of hunter-gatherers. We thought we understood this period, believing complex society and grand architecture arrived much later. But what if that story is not entirely true? What if the timeline of human civilization needs a radical revision? Deep in southeastern Turkey, a discovery has emerged that challenges everything we thought we knew about our ancient past. It's a place called Göbekli Tepe. This site is not just old, it is astonishingly ancient. Dated to around 9,600 BCE, it predates pottery, metallurgy, and even writing. It is thousands of years older than the first cities of Mesopotamia. 12,000 years ago, humans we considered primitive were capable of monumental construction. They quarried, transported, and erected massive stone pillars, some weighing many tons. This discovery sends a shiver down the spine of history, a whisper from a time so deep it was almost lost to us forever. Göbekli Tepe is more than just a collection of old stones, it's a question mark etched into the landscape. Did religion spark the transition to settled life rather than the other way around? The implications are profound. The story of Göbekli Tepe is still unfolding, and it promises to continue to amaze and mystify us. For millennia, Göbekli Tepe lay hidden beneath an artificial hill, its secret sleeping soundly. Locals had long regarded the rounded mound with a certain reverence. Farmers occasionally moved larger rocks, suspecting something lay beneath, but no one grasped the true scale or antiquity of what was buried there. The site was noted in a survey by American archaeologists in the 1960s, but dismissed as perhaps medieval cemetery markers. It would take another 3 decades and the keen eye of a German archaeologist named Klaus Schmidt for the world to begin to understand. In 1994, Schmidt was researching Neolithic sites in the region. He came across the earlier survey reports and felt an academic curiosity. He decided to visit the hill, perhaps expecting to find a minor settlement, nothing more. What he found instead would change his life and our understanding of prehistory. Schmidt recognized the flint chips on the surface as byproducts of quarrying and shaping massive stones. He saw the tops of enormous T-shaped pillars just peeking from the soil. His archaeologist's intuition screamed that this was no ordinary place. He famously said that he had 2 choices, either walk away and tell no one or spend the rest of his life working there. He chose the latter, and humanity is richer for it. Göbekli Tepe was an anomaly, a beautiful, powerful challenge to the story of our past. The architecture of Göbekli Tepe is unlike anything else from its time. The primary structures are a series of circular or oval enclosures. These enclosures feature massive T-shaped pillars quarried from limestone beds nearby. These are not crude, unworked stones. They are carefully shaped, often standing several meters tall and weighing up to 10 or even 20 tons. These T-shaped pillars are the defining feature of Göbekli Tepe. Most archaeologists interpret them as stylized human figures. Some even have low-relief carvings depicting arms, hands, and items of clothing. The walls between the peripheral pillars are made of rougher, smaller stones, creating an enclosed sacred space. The floors were often made of polished terrazzo, created from burnt lime. The intricate carvings that adorn many of the pillars are detailed depictions of a rich faunal world. The construction of Göbekli Tepe presents a profound mystery. For decades, the story of human civilization followed a neat, linear progression. First came the Neolithic Revolution. Humans learned to domesticate plants and animals. This led to agriculture, allowing people to settle in one place, forming villages. Villages grew into towns and then cities. Only then did complex society, organized religion, and monumental architecture emerge. Göbekli Tepe takes that ladder and snaps it in half. It throws our comfortable timeline into delightful disarray. The stunning truth of Göbekli Tepe is its age, dating back to roughly 9,600 BCE. At this time, agriculture was in its very nascent stages, if practiced at all by the builders. These people were primarily hunter-gatherers, yet they built this vast ceremonial center. This completely inverts the old model. It suggests that the urge to gather, to create sacred spaces, to engage in communal ritual, may have been a primary driver for societal change. Consider the implications. What if the temple was the catalyst for the agricultural revolution, not the other way around? Göbekli Tepe challenges us to look at hunter-gatherer societies with new respect. The dawn of our settled world may have been illuminated first by the fires of a shared faith. So what was Göbekli Tepe for? This is the central question that archaeologists and researchers continue to grapple with. The site suggests profound ritual significance, not a village or settlement. It appears to have been a sacred center, a destination for pilgrimage. The T-shaped pillars might represent revered ancestors or deities. The animal carvings are a dominant theme. Some researchers, like Klaus Schmidt, believed it was a central cultic site. The truth is, without written records, the exact purpose of Göbekli Tepe may always remain partly shrouded in mystery. The very existence of Göbekli Tepe forces us to re-evaluate the social capabilities of hunter-gatherer societies. Building something on this scale was not a casual undertaking. It required planning, coordination, specialized skills, and a sustained labor force. How did nomadic or semi-nomadic groups achieve this? This question points to a level of social complexity previously thought impossible before the advent of agriculture and settled villages. Göbekli Tepe itself might be the evidence of a social revolution that preceded the agricultural one. Imagine the scene. Hundreds of people from different kin groups or communities converging on this hilltop. They would need to be organized. Someone had to design the enclosures, direct the quarrying of the massive limestone pillars, oversee their transport, and manage their careful erection. This implies leadership, or at least a highly effective system of communal decision-making and task allocation. It suggests that these hunter-gatherer societies were far from simple or egalitarian in all aspects. Furthermore, the act of building and gathering at Göbekli Tepe would have had profound social consequences. It would have been a place for interaction, for the exchange of goods, information, and perhaps even partners. These gatherings could have fostered a shared identity and a common cultural understanding across a wide region. The collaborative effort itself would have forged strong social bonds. The temple acted as a crucible for social complexity. The story of Göbekli Tepe is far from over. Only about 5% of the site has been uncovered. Surveys reveal at least 15 more large enclosures. Recent discoveries add new layers of understanding. Smaller, rectangular buildings suggest an evolution in use. These buildings show more domestic-like features. The future of Göbekli Tepe research holds immense promise. One of the most intriguing aspects of Göbekli Tepe is not just its construction, but its eventual abandonment and burial. After centuries of use, the magnificent stone enclosures were deliberately and carefully backfilled. This wasn't a catastrophic collapse or a slow decay into ruin. The evidence suggests an intentional act. The spaces between the pillars were filled with rubble, mostly stone chippings, animal bones, and earth. This process effectively entombed the structures, creating the artificial hill that preserved them so remarkably well for over 10,000 years. Why would they do this? Why would a people who invested so much energy into creating such a sacred place then choose to bury it? There are several theories, none definitive. Perhaps it was a ritual act of closure. Maybe the beliefs associated with the site changed, and burying it was a way of decommissioning it. It could be that a new religious or social paradigm emerged, rendering the old sanctuary obsolete. Another possibility is that the burial was intended to protect the site. Perhaps there was a period of conflict or instability, and the people of Göbekli Tepe chose to hide their sacred place to preserve it from desecration. The deliberate burial is, in a way, a gift to modern archaeology. The act of covering it up ensured that, one day, its story could be uncovered again. Göbekli Tepe stands as a profound testament to the depth and complexity of human history. It has fundamentally altered our understanding of the Neolithic period and the capabilities of hunter-gatherer societies. The questions it raises are as monumental as its T-shaped pillars. What other incredible chapters of the human story lie dormant beneath the soil, waiting for a curious mind and a careful hand to bring them to light? If something as transformative as Göbekli Tepe could remain hidden for so long, what else are we missing? Göbekli Tepe suggests that the path to complex society was not a single straight line, but perhaps a more meandering river with many tributaries. The stones of Göbekli Tepe are etched not just with animals and symbols, but with the enduring enigma of human existence, a story that continues to unfold one discovery at a time.